There is only one of you, only one of me. There's a million of those who won't let us be.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. I am back with another video. I still actually need to make an intro, wait, because every time I start my video I actually don't know what to say, and this is just weird. Anyway, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm gonna tell you guys about my scholarship and how I packed my bags and left the country and moved to SA and decided, okay, I'm gonna start afresh. So a bit of like a background story or some background info. So from high school, it's just been my dream to leave the country. Like, I wanted to study abroad, you know. I wanted that independence. I wanted to be that girl, you know, little honeys you see enjoying life, shopping life outside the country. I wanted to be that person. And I also just personally always felt like you need to leave your country at least once or twice to appreciate home. Like, leave your country, see what other countries have, so when you come back home, you know what to improve. You can actually see opportunities and gaps a bit more clearly than when you're stuck here. Like, when you're stuck here, all you do is just say, bots is okay, bots is home, bots is peaceful, it's comfortable. You're comfortable in what's already there, but you don't know that there can actually be more. So I've always been big on leave the country, see what are the countries in the first world, the Americas, South Africas, the what's like, how do they do life? How do the countries look? How's the living expenses? How's the living there? How's the food, like, you know? So we write from 5 here. It's called, we write Cambridge in bots, right? So I wrote my from 5, and then I didn't get top achievers. So top achievers is this government program where if you get 6 A stars, minimum of 6 A stars, they sponsor you to do your A levels, and you can go to any school you want in the world, right? As long as you've been accepted to the school and they pay for you. It's like, it's not a grant, it's like I forgot the word, because you have to, apparently you have to pay it back. I'm not too sure about that anymore, but I know there was a thing where when you're done with school you have to pay back the government the money that it's like a loan. It's a loan. So I didn't get top achievers. I was really sad, but like 2018 was just a horrible year for me, like emotionally, mentally. There's a lot that happened that year that just sort of, it just made me lose my focus. But I'm not gonna blame it on my past, or I'm not gonna blame it on the year. It's okay, it happened. It actually took me a really long time to get to where I am now. Like, I've been living with regrets. Like, I always kept feeling like why did I not study hard? Why did I let my life just cloud me and just drop me so much that I lost focus during exams? Why? You know, like, but anyway, like, there were times I was like, I want to go back to high school because I can do it different now, because now I can handle life differently than I did back then. But it's cool. So I didn't get top achievers at Form 5, and the thought of like staying locally was like, hell no. And I knew my parents they could not afford to like pay for uni outside of the country, because I have 3 younger siblings that they still want to put through high school, and they want to put them through really good schools, and good schools are just expensive in general. So I was like, let me not be that child that's gonna burden my parents and be like, okay, I want to go to UCT, or I want to go to University of Manchester, and you guys need to pay for me. It would have been very selfish of me. So I was like, okay, cool, I qualified for A levels, because you need to have at least like a minimum of B's in your subjects to do the subjects you want to do for A levels, and I did pretty good on the subjects I picked. So I qualified for A levels. I'm like, cool, let me go back and do A levels. I tell my parents, I'm like, I want to go back for A levels. I want to do AS A2. My parents are like, there's no money for you to do A levels. I'm like, okay, what do you guys want me to do? Sit home for the next 6 months waiting to go to UB in August? I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, then you have no choice, because we're not paying for A levels. I even did like a whole PowerPoint with like the pros and cons of letting me go for A levels. I had done like a payment plan for them to it was a proper presentation to show them what I'm serious. I want to do this. And they were just like, we see, we understand. But this was never part of the conversation. The conversation was that the agreement was that you're going to pass, get top achievers, and then do A levels and stuff. And if you don't, you're going to go to UB or school locally. And I was like, yo, guys, no, this cannot be it. So I went back to AS. I eventually did my AS. What I did was I went to school. I spoke to the finance department. I was like, I need a bursary because my parents are literally refusing to pay for me, and I feel like I can do this. Like I can push for AS and A2 and get top achievers. Okay, guys. Well, they gave me a bursary. Like my parents ended up only paying, I think it was 10,000 out of the whole school fees, which was like, I think it was like 30,000. It was like 60,000 because I was also a boarder, and my parents only ended up paying 10,000. So I think it was a good deal, and my parents took the deal. They're like, cool, go to school, we can afford 10K when I go to school, learn whatever. I did. I pushed AS. I pushed so hard. I feel like AS, I pushed so hard. I was doing past papers. I feel like I didn't necessarily know my study pattern or how best I study and get to know a lot of information or absorb information. So the way I was studying didn't work for me. And I didn't notice, like I was just like, no, let me do past papers. It works for everyone. Let me do past papers, let me do past papers, let me do past papers. Let me cram questions, let me cram questions. Hey guys, I crammed and the exam crammed me. Guys, let me tell you, what a maza. It was it was horrible. My AS results, when I wrote my final exams, it was just not looking cute. Like I feel like I performed worse than I performed in IGCSE. It was like, what happened? IGCSE, I didn't put much effort because I was going through a lot. But AS, I felt like I was studying. I was a boarder. I had a boyfriend in the boarding house as well, who would always study with me. And he was very smart. He would explain a lot of things to me. What happened? Kante. I just saw stars, bro. But yeah, I did AS, and it demoralized me so much. And then I finished AS. A2, I'm like, okay, this is 2020. I'm like, cool. I go see the career guidance counselor thing at school. I'm like, this is what I got for AS. Do you think it's worth coming back? I'm not wasting my time. Should I just go to UB or school locally? UB is University of Botswana, by the way, for those that wouldn't know. And he's like, nah, you can come back from these grades. They're not as bad as you think they are. You just need to rewrite 102 and then do really well in your rewrites and then do really well for A2, and then you're set. You'll be able to get top achievers. I'm looking at this man, I'm like, do you see my grades? He's like, dude, it's not as bad as you think. The people that just, like, they just, it's horrible. You can come back from this. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go home, I pack my bags. I'm like, let me go back to the boarding house. And it started really well. Like, I started A2 so well. My grades were so good. I remember during the parent-teacher consultation, my teachers were even telling my parents, quite, wow, we see potential in her. She might just get top achievers this year. Like, her grades have improved so much from the previous year. We're so proud of her. She's working hard. What? Get motivated when I get happy. Maybe I didn't have a boyfriend in the boarding house at the time. So no distractions like that. Like, it was just me and my books 24/7. And I was also playing netball, which was like a de-stressing factor to my life. Cool. I think I have everything in the bag. Everything is going well. Everything is going good. COVID. Wait to go to COVID, baby girl. Not these, like, never make your own plans. Let God's plan just work out for you. COVID comes in March, mangana ma wa told I pack your stuff, guys, go home, leave the boarding house. I'm like, cool. They're like, we don't know when school's gonna come back, but just go stay home. And I'm like, phew. And I was supposed to rewrite two of my subjects from AS in the May-June exam period. And I think COVID hit in March. So I had March, April, and to like study. And we didn't have classes a lot then. Which means now, I think online classes started like beginning of May or like towards the end of April. And when they started, I would sleep through my classes. I found it so hard to just wake up and sit by my table and focus. And I made the rash decision that I'm going to drop out of A-levels because I was like, if I'm unable to study and stay awake and get through these online classes, I'm behind. By the time school opened, I think they opened like June, back to the boarding house, I was like, I'm not going to go back to school. It's okay. I had applied to UB. I got accepted to UB to do my Bachelor of Arts, specializing in economics and accounting. So I was like, alright, let me just go to UB. Like, my father basically said me, I was like, dude, you're not growing younger, you're growing older. You can't keep saying A2. You're gonna fail A2 again, then what? Start year one after your age mates are already in year 3 or not in year 1. That hurt my feelings because I'm like, where's the support? Huh? Just a bit of support. I could have probably made it through A2 because my teachers believed in me, but my dad was just like, bro, go to school. You'll get to leave the country for your master's. Which is not really the end of the world. But at the time, to me, it seemed like I wanted to leave the country. Not like, there's nothing like tomorrow or next day. I want to leave the country. Like, when I finish my last A2 exam, I want to know that I have an acceptance letter to a school in the UK, in the US, anywhere, and I'm going to have sponsorship. You get me? That didn't work. So yeah, I dropped out, left A2, went to UB for about a year. Well, I started in August 2020, going on to, so August 2020 I started semester 1, then semester 2 was 2021, Jan to April, no, to May. Then I went second year in 2021 August, semester 1. And then I left in 2022, which was basically my semester 2 of year 2. I left and moved to NMU, Nelson Mandela University in South Africa. Yeah, let me tell you how that happened. So, you know, I've been trying to apply for scholarships to leave the country and it wasn't working. You know, I'd get offers to uni, but I wouldn't have the scholarship, the funds to go. So it was like, there's no point. So 2021, you know, I find a job because like I lost my dad and things were just like rough at home. So I'm like, okay, cool, let me find a job to just, like, my mom doesn't need to worry about me and my sisters. At least I can, you know, contribute towards groceries. Then they, you know, do something in the house. Okay, cool, I got a job. And then I meet my best friend of like 6 years. I think, yeah, we had been best friends for 6 years. Just that we lost contact in 20, like when he was doing A2 and I dropped out, we lost contact. We like grew a bit distant, but not too distant. So I find him at where I was working. I was working at some clinic as an account assistant. And he's also there, and you know, he's like, dog, I applied to SA. He had taken a gap year after A2, I remember. He's like, so I applied to SA, applied to then they what, you know, and yeah, like I don't need funding, but I'm also applying for scholarships. And I'm like, which scholarships are you applying for? Because maybe if we do it together, like I'll find motivation. Because now I've been trying and I've been rejected, and I feel like there's no point anymore. It's like, cool, let's apply together. So he tells me about the Allan Gray one. He's like, let's also do the Allan Gray one. And I'm like, yo, bro, I have those many essays. Because one thing about this Allan Gray thing, bro, guys, this thing is like, it has 10 essays, and that's just stage 1. There's like 3 stages, but we'll get there. So yeah, he's like, cool, let's apply. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just do it. So obviously, to apply for Allan Gray, you need to have an offer at one of the schools they sponsor. I think they sponsor like, is it 8 or 10 universities? You know, there's UCT, UP, UJ, NMU, Rhodes, Wits, Stellenbosch, there's another one that I'm forgetting, University of Free State. I think that's it. I'm not sure. I'll check. I'll put them up in the description, in the link below. I'll put the schools they sponsor. So I applied to UCT, I applied to UP, I applied to UJ, I applied to University of the Free State, I applied to UWC, I applied to a couple of schools. And then I eventually and then I think I got accepted into 2. And I think Allan Gray, and then I also applied to Allan Gray, name. I did the whole essays, I submitted on time, and then I got rejected. I got an email saying that your application was not successful. I was like, God, this is like only pain. And then I think like a week later, they sent me an email that like, apologies for the previous email. Your application has been successful. Excuse me. That was horrible. Excuse me. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, wow, I was actually excited. So this is me prepping for the interview phase, because after your application of the essays and everything is done, you get into the interview stages. So you basically get shortlisted, right? So after your application is successful, that means you've been shortlisted. So the interview stage, you go through the first interview stage. This is basically where you're gonna just like they just ask you questions about you, how you deal with stress, how you deal with problems, your best qualities, your worst qualities. Like, they're trying to get to know you. You're trying to see if you're someone that can just like sell yourself to an employer. Like, if you're asked to, because it's an entrepreneurial based scholarship, so obviously they're trying to build young entrepreneurs, and they want to see if you're good with selling yourself and marketing yourself, and also are you, like, how are you going to deal with stress, how are you going to deal with failure. So that's the first stage. So I went to the first interview stage. I did great. I got shortlisted again for the second one, which is also the last one. So the second one, you basically are given like 10 minutes, I think, to sort of come up with like a business idea, right? You just jot down 10 minutes, just think about it, jot down it. By the way, you don't know what they're gonna ask you. I'm just telling you about how my application process was. I think it differs every year. You don't know what they don't give you, they don't tell in advance, okay, do this, prepare this and this and this. It's just on the spot. So I had to prepare like 10 minutes, like a business idea, talk about like what I'm gonna need, the funding, go to everything. And then after that, you get into like different rooms where now you are like one-on-one with your investor. Now you have to sell your idea, tell them what your idea is, where you want to see it go, all the resources you need, like give them a financial, like the target market, like everything. You sell yourself, and then they have to ask you questions as well, and then you have to thoroughly answer those questions for you to be able to make it through. I did that, and then they took long. I think this happened like in November, if I'm not wrong, or October 2021. I found out that I got accepted into Allan like February 2022. Mind you, all the application dates were closed, and if you had not like accepted the offer letters that they were giving you by the time, by like I think they give you like a month after they give you an offer letter, they revoked the letter. So I just like was like, say clearly Allan is not saying anything, so there's no way I can go, you know. Jiggy, in February I get a call that like, listen, you've been accepted, please let us know which schools you're going to, what, so we can like help you with the process to apply. I'm like, ma'am, I have no school because I lost hope. And then luckily NMU at the time was doing, actually the beginning of January is always like the late application stage, but apparently it's normally for like South African citizens to help their citizens. Because I remember I tried UJ was like, we don't do late applications for international students, and I'm like, cool. NMU also was like that, but here's the thing, I paid a registration fee. I know an application fee at NMU. I think it was like 500 rands. I applied, paid, and then it went. And then they took time, and I called. I'm like, can I put through an application? And like, why am I not? They're like, nah, but we don't do late applications for international students. I'm like, but I already paid. You just took my money, so either refund me or do something about it. And they surely did something about it. They accepted me, they gave me a place, and then I got back to Allan. I'm like, I finally have a school, I have NMU. And then they accepted me to do a BCom general, BCom general economics. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go. I'm currently at the George campus for this year. I think I'm gonna move to main campus next year, which is in PE, but this year I'm in the George campus. So then that's how I got to pack my bags and leave. So this Allan scholarship basically is gonna cover your tuition, your living expenses. The living expense differs according to where in South Africa you live, because obviously there are certain places that have a higher cost of living than other places. So not everyone gets the same amount. They pay for your transport, but like it's once a year thing. So it's normally at the beginning of the year they can pay for you to like go to school, but during the year they don't do that. They pay for your textbooks. They give you textbook allowance. They give you data if you need data, especially in SA where there's like load shedding 24/7. You definitely need data. What else? They offer you tutoring. They offer you therapy. You have mentors. They also literally nourish your entrepreneurial journey. Like literally, I'm telling you guys, these people are serious about entrepreneurship, and they're serious about bringing up young entrepreneurs. They literally give you like mini courses. They give you people to talk to. They give you a chance to talk about your business idea, to get feedback on your business idea as well. They give you a chance to literally also launch your business idea to potential investors, get feedback, or even get people to just start invest in your business on your whole. And one thing about Allan is if you're actually serious about your idea and they see what is a profitable idea, they have no problem in funding your idea when you're done with school or whenever you want to start it. You get like it's such I think it's a brilliant idea for young people, especially now in a world where it's not certain that with your degree you will find work when you finish school. It's really not. So they got you like that. So I've been on Allan now for about, I'm going into second semester. It's just started like 2 days ago. I don't know when you see this video what date it will be, but second semester just started. So yeah, all you need to do to remain, because it's renewed every year. It's on a renewal basis. You have to have a minimum of at least 60% in your subjects for you to be able to qualify for the renewal for the next year. You get, and obviously you have to participate in the Allan Gray programs, because they also have their own program thing they have going besides just like you in school. So you also have to like be able to balance the Allan Gray work and your schoolwork, you know. So you get mentors, you get your POs, you know, people that basically are like your parents away from home, you know. Yeah, so that's how I got to pack my bags and leave. Allan Gray gave me the chance to finally say, listen, I'm going to leave the country and I'm going to flourish and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm forever going to be grateful to them. And like, I can't thank them enough for seeing an opportunity in me and believing in me. You know what, girl, you can do this, you can go far, don't give up. It was a big decision to make, because I'm already a second year student and I'm going back to first year at NMU. It was just the thing. I was like, are you sure? My mom literally asked me, she's like, are you sure you're gonna do this? I'm like, yeah, no regrets. It's something I've always wanted, and it's never too late to start afresh. You're never too old to start again. If there's one thing, I think we had one of the motivational talks at Allan Gray with the lady called Brunello. I forgot her surname. And I remember having a conversation with her after her presentation. She was like, she loves people that just have the courage to start again. And I was like, yo, I needed to hear that, because, you know, there were times I said, and I was like, did I make the right choice? Like, my peers are in year 3, like, they're finishing school. Me now, I'm just starting. I'm 21, I'm just starting uni. It was just like, wow. And it, like, motivated me, because she was like, own pace, own race. What? Own race, own pace? Whatever it says. But like, just believe in yourself. Like, don't be afraid to start afresh. Don't be afraid to say, alright, cool, I'm taking this big leap of faith and I'm going to move to a different country, or I'm gonna change my course completely, or I'm gonna change career paths completely, or I'm gonna, like, whatever decision you have to make my life in, just trust your gut feeling. Trust yourself. If it's something you've always wanted, go for it. But don't be scared. I feel like we're so governed and we're so led by fear in our lives that we're so scared to take that leap of faith and do something we really wanted. I took it. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy journey. It's not an easy path, because you will look back and say, hey, was it worth it? But if it's something you've always wanted, I'm pretty sure you can make it work. There will always be people around, systems put in place to help you, a support system put there to help you make it, to help you succeed. People around you will not just watch you suffer and just sink and just drown. They'll always be there to uplift you and remind you what this was your goal, this is where you saw yourself going. And take that. Now I strongly believe you know, Allan Gray gave me this chance, and I'm so open to like talking to people about it and helping you guys with your application processes. I know this video is a bit late, because I think the applications closed 1st of July, if I'm not wrong. They've already closed. But for people looking to apply next year, just hit me up. We can talk about it. I can let you know what the requirements are, how to get it. I can help you with your essays. I can also just like put you on. I'm wholeheartedly willing to work with you guys and help you guys through this journey, so that we can also be Allan Gray candidate fellows. So yeah, that's my story. I don't want this video to be too long. I'll make like a follow-up video about how I'm finding South Africa, how I'm finding living in SA, how living in SA and the differences between living in SA and living here are, here being bots, and yeah, the challenges I faced and the highlights of my year, because the year is about to end. Quite frankly, we're already midway through the year, and I've already, you know, I could say I've had my fair share of living in George. But next year, because COVID is basically now a myth in SA, we don't need masks now, and yeah, there'll be more activities to be done. I'm looking forward to taking you guys with me and showing you guys George and showing you guys another side of George. And yeah, so yeah, so this is the end of the video. I'm so sorry it's so long. If you've made it this far, I love you so much, and thank you for being so committed to the video, and thank you for your support, and thank you for literally tagging along the whole way. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please, let's grow this community, let's grow together. This channel could be impactful to you and to someone around you. Please share, and please don't forget to comment, because like I said, it's an interactive journey. I'd like to know what you guys think. I'd like to get feedback from you guys to help us grow together, because we are a family. Siyahlanganisa. We are hlanganising izinto. So yeah, please like, please share, please subscribe. So thank you. Please stay tuned for another video. I promise I won't take a month to post the next video, because clearly I've been gone. I'm gonna try and be a bit more consistent. Yeah, thank you guys, thank you.